Yes, indeed. No more distress. Manchester United now with 3 wins in a row. What a time to be alive. Let's have a look at the top half of the standings, shall we? Manchester United now in the top 4. Look at that.
Wow.
2 positions ahead of the Premier League champions, Liverpool. Who would have thought?
Oh, wow.
All right, let's get into this one.
How desperate are you? I mean, the fact that you
To get 3 wins in a row, you should be desperate to get 3 wins in a row.
You are the happiest girl on the planet and you're sitting in 4th.
Because did you not see what United did last season?
I'm just saying, it's incredible how
wouldn't you like to
happy
sit
you
in
are
4th?
because you're 4th.
Wouldn't you love to sit in 4th tonight? That's what I thought.
Well, I can't. I'm too busy cleaning that Premier League title we got last year.
With what? With some of the tears?
We forgot.
With some of the tears that you guys have been shedding?
We forgot we had to play this year because we're too busy cleaning the silverware.
All right. Don, let me come to you for some fresh opinions, shall we? Manchester United, 3 wins in a row right now. Signs of improvement. We're always hesitant to feel like they're turning a corner. But what do you think after what we saw today?
I hope this pesky Dan Thomas is watching tonight, because I remember when I predicted Man U for a top 4 to 6 finish at the start of the season. He went
go with yourself.
So did Ali.
There you go.
See?
What a classic. Hey, you get 6,000. You get 6,000 things wrong, and for 10 minutes you got 1 right because they're not finishing in the top 4.
I'm not going to wrong Don because I made that prediction as well.
Come on.
And we were laughed at, Don.
Sorry, I'll tell you what my analysis watching Man U today. Great win, fantastic win. The boy on Instagram who's searching for 5 wins on the spin to try and get his barnet cut is going to be ecstatic. He's so close. But I watched the Man United team today that played off the back of the Liverpool win. They had so much confidence. I think if Man United lose that game or draw that game against Liverpool, I wouldn't have sort of say Man United players today. They just had so much confidence. And I say this very... In a complimentary way, they had a little bit of arrogance about them with Cunha and Buemo. I thought they played well. I thought they stroked the ball around really well. I thought the win against Liverpool last week put them in really good stead, and that was always going to be the test. Will it be the same old Man United off the back of a Liverpool win? Will they let you down again and lose against Brighton today? Absolutely not. Terrific win for them.
You know the biggest thing for me, when you sign players, particularly when you're in trouble and you're struggling. When you sign players like Cunha and Mbeumo who come in and absolutely have no worries about what's previously been going in, they're happy to be there, they just want to play, and they're going to... It's a complete and utter breath of fresh air. And you saw, if you ever needed proof of that, you saw that today with Cunha and Mbeumo.
You've been very impressed by Mbeumo specifically.
I mean, the way he took his goals and just his all-round... You know, he's megging people. He was megging people today. And Cunha just, again, he makes everybody around him react in a positive manner. And that's what United were today. From the first minute, not to the last, because they did have a little panic up for 10 minutes. But for the majority of this game, they were on the front foot. They were closing Brighton down early. Yes, Brighton, what they try to do, play out. But then... That's only because Manchester United forced them into those mistakes, because they were bright, because they wanted to go forward, led by particularly Cunha and Mbeumo. And so, yeah, they deserve to win this game way easier than they did. Threw a little bit of drama in, but
as they do.
But no, this was easily their best performance of the season.
There's an aura of confidence about Manchester United. Certainly today and in this game, and based on today's evidence, an aura of confidence that you see on Cunha, that you see on Mbeumo, that you see overall on this team that defensively is willing to together go and press the ball, albeit against a team that invited that pressure because they played and overplayed and turned the ball over in bad areas, which then allowed Manchester United to really take a step forward. That played into the hands of Manchester United. My only concern would be that at 3-0, it felt like a dominant performance, like a comfortable, confident, dare I say, aura of confidence about Manchester United. And it's almost as if the scar tissue, it's almost as if the skeletons in the closet, the demons were coming back. It's like, no. It cannot be comfortable because we don't feel good if it's comfortable. And what I thought was the importance of a crowd at Old Trafford that have had many chances and many opportunities to see bad after bad after bad performance, and they could have just as easily go down the path of, oh no, here we go again, we're gonna give this up, oh no, not against Brighton again, no.
Yeah.
Instead, they elevated the team late in the match, and it almost as if, no, we cannot give this up. Let's get after it. And they go and score the fourth goal. And the explosion of excitement in that stadium is like, yes, it's happening. This team dominated today. They were good today. They closed out the match in style. They won it 4-2, 3 points. Look at Manchester United flying around. Be excited if you're a Manchester United fan about today.
Look at Manchester United flying around, indeed. All right, well, on a day where Liverpool lose and Manchester United win, you can bet we're going to get plenty questions in extra time. It'll be Stevie, Don, and Ale answering them, so make sure to join us then.
And here's Gary Neville waiting to speak to us. Did you score 2 goals in a game, Gary, for Manchester United?
No, I scored 2 goals in consecutive weeks, or 1 and 1, which, does that count?
I'll give you that.
From right back, you'll take that, Gary.
Especially on the day you've been inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame as well. Does he look like a Manchester United player already, Mbeumo?
Yeah, I think Mbeumo and Cunha, I think the risk was removed from those signings in the sense that they've been in the Premier League before and they've got that hunger to deliver at a different level. There was a lot of things about those signings that you felt more comfortable with, and I think that when I look at United now with Mbeumo, I think Mbeumo looks like he belongs, he looks hungry, he looks like he wants to score goals. It wasn't quite happening for him and Cunha in the first maybe 4 or 5 matches when they were getting into the positions, they always wanted the ball, but they weren't maybe taking their chances. But I think Manchester United have got something to build on. If those two can stay up front and live up front in those spaces, and the other 8 or 9 players in the team can just be the foundation for them and sort of keep more clean sheets and defend well, those two will win a lot of football matches for this club.
Of course, new ground that we're treading here under Ruben Amorim. Does this feel particularly significant, Gary? 3 on the bounce? I
think it does. I think that it feels like his best week in the job. The week where I think that, look, where he's been, and I think where we've all been with it, I wouldn't have been surprised. We were talking about him losing his job, and I was thinking he was under massive pressure after going into the international break in October. I felt as though that change could be imminent, but the victory at Anfield, and it shows you how things can turn around. And then obviously this was so important today. Look, he's not out of the woods yet, and it's certainly not a time to get carried away. But I think Manchester United are now where they thought they probably would be. They'll slip down a couple of places after the rest of the teams play, and they'll end up in 6th or 7th. But that's where I think everyone thought they would be. So, look, this has been a very important week for the manager and for the club. And you could see the celebration at the end there was more than just a little bit, I think, of relief that, yeah, we needed this badly.
Gary, Jamie, one of the big things that struck me in these performances, these last 3 games, certainly has been almost how much heart, desire that they've shown, and it looks like a team that the fans can now almost get behind as well.
Yeah, one thing, Jamie, is I think that a few weeks ago I was a little bit worried that the players didn't believe in Ruben Amorim's system, that maybe there was an element of them not winning matches and starting to question it and listen to the noise that all of us, including myself, had added to that. However, one thing that's been absolutely not in doubt when you speak to people in and around the club is that the players really like him as a person, and that does count for a lot, because I think there's no doubt he's not lost the dressing room in terms of spirit and energy and how they feel towards him. So I think they want to play for him. They're desperate to win, and I think you've seen that coming together a little bit in the last week. I mean, winning at Anfield in any season is special, but for Ruben Amorim to win at Anfield when it was so unexpected, I think just has given them such a big lift. But look, we'll look forward to the game next week against Nottingham Forest, Tottenham away the week after. There's still a big job to do in this month, but I felt as though it was a month of reckoning. And if it had started badly last week at Liverpool, it could have gone a different way, but it feels very different. It feels like the momentum's with them a little bit and the spirit's good.
So what questions do you still have, Gary?
I suppose consistency. It's been a team and a club that you can't really rely on for so long, so the idea of winning 2 or 3 matches doesn't take that away. You can't sort of build that trust back in an instant, so that's still not there. But I think that there's something happening there that I think the front two, I've just mentioned them. You've got something to, if you can keep that back five compact, and amongst them there's some decent defenders, half decent defenders. That back five can just stay solid, and the midfield in front, let them two up front go and do what they do. I think it can be sort of a recipe for Manchester United to have a decent season and to get into the top six. There's question marks against Sesko. I think that he obviously was a bigger risk of a signing and a lot more of an unknown. He doesn't quite look like he's settled in yet. So it'd be nice, I think, if he can start to look. It starts to look like a front three. It does feel still like a front two with him stood up there. I think that's the big job over the next couple of weeks.
Is that just a question of goals with him, with Sesko, Gary, do you think? Is that all he needs, or is it more the build-up play, the way he sort of he plays with those other two?
No, it's more than the goals. It's the inclusion within the actual combinations that you see from the others. I mean, you see Bruno Fernandes and Mount, who wasn't playing today, but you see those two linking very successfully with Mbeumo and Cunha. You don't quite see Sesko being part of that mix yet. He's not sort of got up to speed and the pace of it, of how quickly they're playing with each other. So he needs to get his game up to speed. That'll only come through time, and obviously he's still quite young. He just does need to get there because, he's a big signing still. It's 80 million. If they can become a front three, then obviously that will be a huge step. At the moment, it feels to me like a two with another guy stood up there occupying space.
Ruben Amorim explains why Sen Lammens surprised him at Manchester United. Sen Lammens has made quite an impression at Manchester United, and it only took 2 matches for Ruben Amorim to admit he's been pleasantly surprised by the young goalkeeper. The 23-year-old Belgian made his debut against Sunderland before the October international break, and followed it up with another standout display against Liverpool. His composure, distribution, and especially his long passes have been key in both United victories. Lammens also pulled off a crucial first-half save to deny Alexander Isak at Anfield, a moment that earned him praise from teammates and pundits alike. Speaking at Carrington on Friday, Amorim was asked if he expected such a quick impact from his new shot stopper. A little bit. Yes, the United boss admitted with a smile. It's been a difficult time for the club with all the talk around our goalkeepers. He's not a kid anymore, but he's still young. What impressed me most is how calmly he handled the pressure. He's very composed, and his ability to play with both feet is so important in modern football, especially against teams like Liverpool, where you often have to go more direct. I knew he was talented, but yes, I'm a bit surprised by how well he's adapted. Amorim went on to explain United's tactical shift in recent games. You can see the evolution if you've watched all our matches, he said. The Liverpool game was different. Sometimes you have to adapt. Against City or Arsenal, we tried to control the ball more, but every match demands something else. At Anfield, it was harder to keep long spells of possession, but if you look at the Arsenal game, it was completely different. Sometimes it's about the environment, the intensity, that's the first thing you feel on the pitch. We have players in different roles now, giving us the option to play more directly when needed. Our identity is still there. We want to play our football, but I'm proud of how adaptable we've become. Over 8 games, it's clear what we're trying to do. Liverpool boss Arne Slot had criticised United's approach after the game, but Amorim refused to be drawn into a public exchange. Liverpool is in the past. I don't want to comment on that, he said firmly. What matters now is what Fabian Hürzeler said, understanding what we need to do against Brighton. I'm very happy that my team can play in different ways depending on what the game demands. Still, Amorim knows there's room for improvement. It was an important win, but I was the first to say we must be better on the ball. I don't care what Slot or anyone else says. I watch our games. I know we can do better, and we will. Sometimes football is about adapting, but the standard here is to keep improving. When asked if these 2 wins could mark a turning point for United's season, Amorim kept things grounded. People love to talk about turning points, he laughed. But honestly, it's simple. We just need to focus on playing, giving everything on the pitch. We've won 2 games, that's good, but it's not a big deal. It should have happened earlier. Now we focus on Brighton, which will be a very tough match. The goal is to play better than we did against Liverpool. To win games, attitude is everything, he added. It's not that the players don't want to win. Sometimes the game just gets harder. But we have to force ourselves to do the basics right. If we do that, we'll be close to winning more matches. Brighton are a top team, not just the big names like Chelsea or Liverpool, and will need to be smart, focused, and ready for another battle. Lammens' rise sparks buzz inside United and beyond. Sen Lammens' early performances haven't just impressed Ruben Amorim, they've sparked a quiet sense of optimism inside Manchester United. Coaches at Carrington are said to be thrilled with how quickly the Belgian has adjusted to Premier League football, while senior players have praised his calm presence and confident communication from the back. Sources close to the dressing room told The Athletic that Amorim's decision to start Lammens was initially viewed as a gamble, especially given the uncertainty surrounding United's goalkeeping situation. Yet within days, that gamble began to look like a masterstroke. He's fitted in perfectly, one United staff member said. It's not easy for a new keeper to come into this environment, especially after the debates around who should start. But Sen's personality is strong. He's humble, he listens, and he competes. His rise has also intensified speculation about the future of United's other goalkeepers. Reports in England suggest that both Andre Onana and Altay Baynder could be facing fresh competition for the number 1 spot. Amorim, however, has publicly downplayed any talk of a goalkeeping crisis, insisting that competition is healthy and that every player must earn the shirt each week. Media and fans react. Social media has lit up with praise for Lammens. United fans have called him the calmest keeper since Van der Sar, while others pointed to his modern profile, tall, technically adept, and confident with the ball at his feet, as the perfect fit for Amorim's evolving style. Former players have also weighed in. Ex-United defender Rio Ferdinand described Lammens' debut as mature beyond his years, while Peter Schmeichel commented on BBC Radio 5 Live. You can see he's been well coached. He's not flashy, he's efficient. That's what you want in this position, especially in a club like Manchester United, where every mistake is magnified. The Belgian media has been quick to highlight his breakthrough as well. Newspapers in Brussels and Antwerp ran headlines celebrating his dream start in England, with some even suggesting he could be in contention for a senior call-up to Belgium's national team if he maintains this form. Amorim's vision taking shape. Behind Lammens' emergence lies Amorim's broader plan for Manchester United, a project built on discipline, adaptability, and trust in youth. Insiders say the Portuguese coach has been working tirelessly to instill tactical flexibility, with training sessions often shifting focus between possession-based play and rapid transitions. We're building something step by step, Amorim told reporters. It's not just about one player or one match. It's about changing the mentality, making sure every player understands what it means to wear this shirt. Amorim's calm but firm leadership style has drawn comparisons to early tenure Pep Guardiola and Erik ten Hag at Ajax, methodical, demanding, and deeply analytical. Those close to the squad say the players have responded positively to his communication and tactical clarity. The road ahead. With Brighton next on the schedule, Amorim knows that consistency will be the real test. The Seagulls, praised for their tactical intelligence under Fabian Hürzeler, will demand another top performance, both from Lammens and the team as a whole. We need to keep our feet on the ground, Amorim emphasized. Sen has been excellent, but we win as a team and we improve as a team. What matters is how we respond in the next challenge. Still, there's an unmistakable shift in the mood around Old Trafford. For the first time in months, optimism seems to be returning. One clean sheet, one commanding performance, and one promising young goalkeeper at a time.